Hey, what's happening, everybody? I'm Tommy, and you are on the lifeboat. Hope you're having a hell of a day. Hope you're having a good one, people. It's another Saturday night, and I ain't got nobody. Actually, I got somebody, but it is a Saturday night. Got some money because I just got paid. Hold that thought, everybody. Krista Melinda, how are you? Hey, Motherbird63, glad you're here. The nurse who loved me is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Barbara Aldrich, how are you? Hope you're well. Hope you're well. I'm doing a little bit better. I'm doing a little bit better. Hello, Aunt KK. Good to see you. Layla, you got me on my knee, Layla. Fluffy Cloud Top from snowy Indiana. What part of Indiana are you in? Dee Razzle Dazzle, good to see you. James Collins cares, and he do. Katie Much, how are you? Laura Lee Smith, good to see you. Karatish, 2 a.m., maybe sleep soon. Well, thank you for spending a little bit of your time with us. I do appreciate that, and I do that from the bottom of my slightly black heart. I'm working on it. 35 days, I'm sorry. 35 days smoke-free, I believe that says. 35 days smoke-free and gone from 1 bottle of wine every night to 2 bottles over the weekend. Noticed drinking and smoking go hand in hand, so cut back on both. Why not? Well played. Proud of you. Proud of you. Proud of you. Charlie Muffins, good Lord in heaven. You know, people, this is Diane O'Connor, good to see you. This is no joke whatsoever, right? This is my guy. This is subscriber number 1. So if you've got a beef with the lifeboat, you got to take it up with Charlie Muffins, because if it wasn't for him, he became a subscriber when this was not yet the lifeboat and was simply the Tommy Scoville show. Thumper, good to see you, Thumper. DS Kitty Diane, how are you? Good to see you. Moi Freestyle Life, how are you? Yes. The OG, the original. Before there was Charlie, there was nobody. Glam Shop, good to see you, Glam Shop. How are you? Glad that you're here from Miami. Oh man, Miami is a beautiful place, isn't it? It is a beautiful part of the world. I am jealous. I really am. Miami is just awesome, man. It is just awesome. Jane Aldrich, the other Aldrich, is here. Hello, Jane. How are you? Kelly Gerling, good to see you, Kelly Gerling. Galen, how are you? ASAP Lizzie is in the house. Teresa Maddox, how are you? You know, I cannot say someone is in the house without sounding like I'm really uncool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have it. If I go, yeah, so-and-so's in the house, it just sounds like I'm somebody's lame dad trying to sound cool. It's really kind of sad. You had a crazy week. ASAP Lizzie, I am glad that you are here with us. I've made a live. Woo woo. Yes. Now that sounds a little bit more natural, did it not? My hooping. Woo-hoo! That I can do. This November is your 35th year sober. I'm sorry, say that in my good ear. November 89 was your last drink, by the grace of God. That is unbelievable. How cool is that, people? Lilith Juniper, good to see you. You did finally catch a live. And you know, we've been waiting on you for so long now. Well played. That is epic. 1989. 1989. I was a freshman in college. Christy Covington, how are you? Good to see you. Yes, Lilith, we have been waiting on this, Miss Juniper. Lynn Sanity, good to see you. Hey, Kristen Hughes, how are you? Shannon, how are you, Shannon? Sunny, good to see you. Jess, good to see you. Yeah, that's epic. That's good stuff, man. That's a long time. That's a lot of sobriety, man. That's got to make you feel good. It's got to make you happy. People, I'm not going to bury the lead too hard. You may or may not have heard. People are disappearing. Gone. Officially, actually bolting. You hear that? Oh, no. I didn't turn on the fan. It's going to be really hot in here. Snake, good to see you. How are you? Grumpy. Oh, you know what? Look at that. Squirrel Nut Zip Zip on cue. What do you say, Zipper? It's a good cat. What an excellent kitty. 1 second, peeps. Sorry. Oh. And then there we go. There we go. Thank you for your patience, people. The problem is I'm tethered, you see. I have a heating device that is stretched around me currently so that I can sit here and slave away. I'm willing to do this for you, though, people. And do you know why? I'll tell you why. Because I care. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Tommy, sometimes you care too much. It's the truth, but I'm going to keep doing it. Cookie, good to see you. Well, nice to catch one again. You know, all of these people that we've been waiting on for you people to catch lives. I'm so happy. Well, we're happy to have you back too. We can't have you MIA. We can't have you MIA. I do love this. Spill the tea. Well, there will be tea spilt. I promise you. Christy Hughes is turning people green. Why, thank you, Christy Hughes. That's very kind of you. Somebody just turned green. Crypto Beauty, how are you? Good to see you. Susan B, what's happening? Hello again. Question. Does the trophy need dusting or polishing, or is it picked up a whole bunch and kept dust-free that way? You know, it's... No, I think we're pretty good. I think we're good. What do you think? I do drink coffee out of it on the regular. It doubles as a very, very large quaffer for coffee, which is sometimes essential. But I will keep it polished. You have my word. It's important to me. Sid Green, good to see you. What's happening, Sid? Good to see you. The PhD practitioner nurse. My back, I'm hoping my back feels better soon too. Oh, wow. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, my back will heal up. I promise you it will. It's one of those things. It is one of those things. It is a pimp cup, is it not? It really is. It was a gift, by the way. It's a crew member that got that for me. I had been using a different. I had basically been cheating for a really long time and using a cup that was not necessarily the trophy was not like legit. It was not a legit trophy. Miss Constitutional Rights. Good to see you. How are you? Glad that you're here. So let's talk about these lowlifes skipping the country, shall we? Now, some of this, of course, is speculation. Let's start with some of the stuff that is not speculation, shall we? Well, Miss Ellen DeGenerate and her her wife, Portia de Rossi. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. If you watch the Reese Quabell program, you're thinking I may have had a relationship at one time with Portia de Rossi. Not actually. There's no truth to that. It is, however, a great rumor and one that I do have a lot of fun with. But no, there's no real truth to that. That being said, allegedly they bought a place in the Cotswold of over in Great Britain. We've got a lot of people on the boat from Great Britain, so I'm sure you're all very happy that they're there. Are you not? I mean, why wouldn't you be? I mean, seriously. Crafty Chris, good to see you. Says, one's for anyone that needs them. I love that. Hello, Andrew B. You saw Ellen at a pub? I'm sorry. I really am. I was kind of hoping maybe you guys would dodge those pictures and all of that stuff. I was kind of hoping that maybe, just maybe, you'd skirt the Ellen DeGenerate thing. Let's be really honest. Ellen is a completely different person when she's has not been painted. I'm not being unkind. Maybe, but yeah, okay, so I'm being unkind. But the truth of the matter is that woman removes her makeup at the end of the day with a Wagner power stripper. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever seen a picture of Ellen DeGenerate when she's not made up for like her show? Good Lord, man. They're two completely different people. It's like she takes a face out of a box, sticks the thing on there, puts it on, gets the old chin strap. For real, she does not look anything like she does in real life. Portia, however, is lovely. We could have dated, but it was ships that didn't pass in the night. But if they had, well, Did she kill her last two lovers? Well, I'll tell you what, man. It is worth talking about. I assume you're referring to the one who was the actress Anne Hesh. That was a very uncomfortable ending. I think we can agree that that was pretty ugly. She was great in Arrested Development. I agree with you. Portia was fantastic in that. She was, I don't know. She's lovely. I've always thought that she is. Unfortunately, she is with Ellen DeGeneres, and that woman is just evil. I'm sorry, she is. Keep it real, man. That woman's evil. Everybody that talks about her says that she's just a lowlife. Do you know how many times she had the diddler on her program? I know that you're thinking to yourself, was it really that many, Tommy? Well, yes, it was. It was over 17. And if you look at all of the other guests that she had on, there was just nobody that she had on more than the diddler. And the question begs, why? Well, it depends on who you believe. But here's the deal. So she buys this house, which, by the way, is worth millions of dollars. Sits on a nice chunk of land over there in Great Britain. And unfortunately, right after she bought it, the rains came. And apparently a lot of damage was done to her new place. It's all flooded and whatnot. Looks like a swamp. The whole property's underwater. You hate to see something like that happen to such a solid citizen. Yeah. Now, she bought this property allegedly because she does not want to live in a country that has a president as vile as the guy that just got elected. I can't remember his name. So she's ready to leave the country because of that. Trouble is, she bought this piece of land prior to that gentleman being elected. So I think she's a liarhead. Yeah, you heard it right here. Squirrel, what are you doing? Come here. We're not going in there. Yeah, I think she's a liarhead of serious proportions. She can't be trusted. Yeah, poor Ellen, says Diane. All right, so yeah, allegedly, yeah, she's gone. Now, she has left the country. Whether or not it's because of Diddy, well, that's hey, come here. What are you doing? Come here. Yeah, she's just not being a good kitty today. I don't know what it is. You know, it comes in waves. There are times that she's an excellent little cat, and then there are times that she just isn't. You hear that? Ellen tweeted about Diddy. Yeah, she did, right? Wasn't that kind of creepy? I believe she said, happy birthday, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, Diddler, the D Master guy. Or as I like to call him, Cuddle McSnuggle Stuff. You don't need to know why. Stop it. Please. Come here, Squirrel Nut. What are you doing? Now, she may have just been trying to be funny. I mean, she is a comedian. I don't know how funny it was. Didn't make me laugh. But, you know, what do I know? I wouldn't say that my comedic timing is perfect or that, you know what? I take that back. I'm pretty damn funny. I don't know necessarily that that's a funny reference. I think she dug the guy. I really do. I think that I think they were closer than they let on. You know what really kind of sinks that, really kind of cinches that for me? Huh? Have you seen them ask her about Diddler since his arrest? Yeah, because it's kind of fascinating. She's twice now she's been on camera when someone has asked her questions about the Diddler. Now, you would think that she would maybe anticipate that coming. Maybe not the first one, right? Blindsided. But the second one, maybe should have seen that coming. But in all cases, she looks like somebody just took a piece of cat turd and tucked it between her cheek and gum. You know what I mean? Like, she gets this look on her face of ultimate misery, as if to say, P who? Never heard of Mick Snuggle Cuddle Muffin Stuffing Weirdo. Eesh. Right? What's up? You saw the mask once and she ignored it. Didn't she, though? Like, she goes, it's a deafening silence. How hard would it be? You know, these people are stupid. In all honesty, they are. How hard would it be to jam on the brakes and go, you know what? That was disturbing. You hate to hear that. And my heart goes out to anybody that was victimized by this man. Too tough? You know why you don't do that? Seriously, think about this. How come no one is doing that? Because everybody in Hollywood should be saying the exact same thing. Am I wrong? Hey, this is a disturbing case. My heart goes out to any of the victims in this. Seems to be a lot of them. My heart goes out to them. What he did is absolutely reprehensible. Cricket, 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 cricket. How come no one is saying that? Has that occurred to anybody that it's every other time this happens, right? Every other time that this happens, people pop out and they do the right thing. They say the right thing. I don't blame you, Miss Constitutional, right? I don't think you should feel bad for anybody there. Christy Hughes says Aaron Carter affected me. I think Aaron Carter affected a lot of people, right? But it's a recurring theme, isn't it? It is. And they're shaded a little differently each time, but it's the same story, isn't it? Liam, our guy down in South America, the guy that just fell to his death or was pushed to his death or leapt to his death or whatever, he ended up dead. Liam Payne. It's a disturbing thing, isn't it? Allison Metcalf Palumbo, good to see you. How are you? Rebecca, Soul Fire Within. Perry, I dig that. The Soul Fire Within. Nancy Nurse, you doing all right? I hope so. I hope so. Pain, that's the word I was looking for. Thanks. No reason to hold back. Let it fly. You are amongst friends. I love the word amongst. I feel like without an A, it's even better. You are amongst friends. Feel like you're amongst friends here. Jimmy Kimmel makes fun of everybody. Not a word about Diddy, though. Isn't that odd? If you go back and watch any of the really old Jimmy Kimmel stuff, it ages like a fine milk. Know what I mean? Watching him run around with a film crew filming him as he bends down and acts like he's sniffing a girl's backside, like in a crowd. This passed for entertainment from this Yahoo at one time. Now he's the conscious. Now he's going to lecture us on what's right and what's is not in Hollywood. Makes you want to toss a little vomit, a little vomitous. Everything. There's so much suspicious crap. Everybody that seems to get anywhere near anything having to do with human tea, right? Even talking about it is a great way to end up unalived. Am I wrong? Hello, D. Marie. Good to see you. Yeah, aged like a fine milk. That's kind of how it goes down, isn't it? Yeah, I like that one. I'm sticking with that one. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Kimmel is just mean, says Annette Baum. Yeah, not particularly funny. I mean, the Man Show, I understand it was a different time, right? And you know something? All of us have done stuff in our past that we're probably not stoked to see come back up on film. And I'm not suggesting running around and sniffing a girl while somebody films, right? But I wore a lot of acid wash. I'm not going to lie to you. Pretty decent collection of acid wash. Yeah. Merite and Francois Gerbeau. Big MC Hammer kind of parachute pants jeans with like snaps at the ankles and and a mullet, kind of rocking the Kentucky waterfall in a big way, right? Business on top, party in the back. It was pretty rugged stuff to look at. I'm not going to lie to you, but we all did stuff like that. However, we all don't then come out. It's not like I'm out saying, hey, let me tell you about fashion, right? Okay, don't lecture me on what it means to be a solid member of society when you acted like an absolute jackwagon and that's how you got famous. I'm sorry, I can't stand that dude. Self-righteous piece of, folks. I'm not the kind of guy that, I'm usually err on the side of kindness. Do I not? I don't know if I can back that up. I'm not always the nicest guy, but you know something? Not everybody deserves it. The Anne Hesh thing is horrible. The video that surfaced of her after the accident brings a lot more questions. If you're not familiar with this video, listen carefully. All right? Listen up. I'm warning you. It's a disturbing video, right? It's a super disturbing video. If you watch the video of Anne Hesh being transported away from the accident that was the cause of her death, right? They have her in what looks like a body bag. and she sits up out of this body bag. The body bag opens and she sits up, at which time they do what they can to get her back down and kind of back into this. Yeah, it's just it's disturbing, folks. That's what it is. It's disturbing. Kathy Ogrim, how are you, Kathy? Bill Herrera says, yeah, that's a sick video, and he's right. Rebecca, I don't think anybody's going to get too bummed out on you about the caps. If you're having a hard time seeing, you go ahead and use them. Cosmic Christie, how are you? Good to see you. We're not going to lose any sleep over that, are we, people? I mean, if we ever catch you in public. Kidding. Lighten up, folks. These are the jokes. Anne from Massachusetts. I wonder how many more celebrities are planning on leaving the country. What was the name of the girl that was got famous for being one of the housewives? What is her name? Somebody help me. You know who I'm talking about. Somebody help me. Somebody's going to help me. You know who I'm talking about, people. She just bought a house. Eva Longoria. Thank you, ASAP Lizzie. You know what? ASAP gets the trophy on that one. She came in before anyone else. Got that thing up where I could read it because I'm not all that. But Eva Longoria also has just fled, and you say to yourself, what's the connection there? Do you know what the connection there is? Huh? She spent a lot of time at Diddy parties back in the day. Oh, yeah. Yeah, true story. And not just sort of kicking it. Like, this is a girl that went to Diddy parties. Allegedly. She stuck around for after parties. So just another person that's decided to do that expat thing from the good old US of A on account of the president. I don't know. How come all of the people that seem to be leaving because of the president also seem to have been allegedly at a freak off or two? Ashton Kutcher and his wife. Have you heard this? Come on, you've heard it. You have heard it. Have you not? Ashton Kutcher. By the way, nothing is more fun on all of the internet than listening to Gene Deal try to say Ashton Kutcher's name. If you have not caught that, you're missing out. I'm telling you, he has such a fun time destroying that guy's name. He does it differently every time, but it's always awesome. Ashton Kutcher and his wife, Mila, shut up, Meg Kunis, isn't she's Meg, right? Shut up, Meg. Mila Kunis and her husband, you know her husband, right? This guy is the king of smoke. I'm sorry, isn't he? Look at his friends, huh? Who does this guy kick it with? The Diddler, right? Known for doing that chemical thing to girls. He is. Keep it real, right? To girls, boys, women, and men. This guy is equal opportunity scumbag, but he uses chemicals in the process always, right? So did Danny Masterson. What did those two have in common? Well, Diddy and Danny Masterson were super close friends with old Ashton Kutcher. Ashton wrote a really disgusting letter to the judge in the Danny Masterson case, he and his wife, to try to ask for a little leniency because you know what? He's a good dude. In fact, he was a role model. He kept us sober. He kept us off of dope. I would let this dude babysit my kid. Honestly, what the hell's the matter with you, man? How do you write that letter and mail that to a judge? Seriously. I hope it destroys your freaking career, you lowlives. Now, what was he doing? Well, he had this little hustle he was doing where he was helping people in the human trafficking world, right? He was going to cut down on people that were selling underage kids. He had this cool software that was going to identify people's faces and look at things in the background so that they could try to track these people down and make sure that they're that these are not kids that are being trafficked. Problem is, all of the money that got raised for that thing went to pay out the people that were doing it. There wasn't a whole lot of work that was getting done of any kind. Just another hustle. It seems to me like they all want to get their name kind of involved. They want to look like there is some philanthropic thing going on. We have always stood for victims. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. I've heard some really creepy stories about you in Canada. Anyway, Ashton Kutcher, if he is not buying a house in another country, maybe you ought to think about it. Is it me? That dude's a lowlife, man. That dude is a lowlife. Paul Walker was also going to expose something to do with trafficking, allegedly, before his demise. Same with the director that was shot on the set of Rust. That I did not know. I didn't know anything about the Rust stuff. I had heard about Paul Walker, though. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Him and his wife suck as actors too. I'm going to agree with you. I don't like much of the work that they do, although she is Meg. I'm sorry. It's a terrible show made by terrible people, but I can't not watch that show. You're right. Our society needs to. Who said that? Who said that? Ghostwriter. Our society needs to quit worshiping false idols. Yeah, and jackasses. Let's keep it real. I mean, I agree with you. It would, you know, much better a country we'd be if our heroes put on uniforms other than say ones for sports. We have a very skewed. Hey, relatable Reese's here. Did you bring a whole audience with you there, Quibser? I sure do appreciate it. I sure do appreciate that. It's my girl, people, right there. Surprised you didn't know that. Ran an hour late. That's because once you get that, well, you know, it's a YouTube thing. It's not a Sassy Savage. How are you? I'm sorry. What? In the hospital on ventilation pneumonia. Sassy Savage, I hope you're not talking about you. But just in case, can we get some thoughts and prayers? That's scary. Shelly, there you are. Shelly says she feels like she just saw you. I love it when somebody shows up and brings 500 of their closest friends with them. Meredith Lynn, good to see you. How are you? Kit Kat, what's happening? So currently, the Ashton and Mila rumor has gotten more traction than they're number 2 on the run list. Number 3 is that gentleman, kind of tall in stature. You may remember him from such hits as "I Will Broadcast from Diddy's Bedroom Whilst Sex Toys Park on the Bed, and I Will Make Jokes about women with burning hair and boys being SA'd at the age of 10 over Frosted Flakes." Mr. Kevin Hart, next on the list. Kevin Hart did a very unusual thing. He had this business called Hart House. You guys familiar with this? It was the kind of food that Quibs would probably eat and I wouldn't for cash. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's not probably in my wheelhouse of like burnt steak. And no, I think that honestly it's vegan fare, right? It was a vegan kind of a restaurant. And apparently the vegan place was killing it. It was doing very, very well. Everybody loved it. The menu was good. It had been in business about a year. He had 4 locations and he just went snap and pulled the plug. Everybody that was involved thought the place was doing great. They had no reason whatsoever to anticipate them shutting this thing down for any reason. Nevertheless, Mr. Hart was being short with the project. Sorry, man, you just gotta love a short joke. I'm sorry, it's not cool, but honestly, he was a bit short with the whole thing. Pulled the plug. There are people who are thinking that it may have been a play to make sure that he had enough coin lying around in case he needed to mount a defense or simply run like hell. Because you know what, this guy. He's one of Diddy's go-to dudes. He's at every one of the parties. Sorry. Yeah, no question. No question. I think I think, regardless of why he shut down Hart House, right, may have been a legitimate reason. It may not have been a legitimate reason. But whatever the case may be, this is a guy whose name gets brought up every single time somebody says Diddy, they say Kevin Hart. And there's a lot of people out there that believe that without him, nothing, and I mean nothing, right? The guy wouldn't have a career if it wasn't for Diddy. That is what has been alleged. Has something to do with this egg. You familiar with this? Yeah. If you watch all of the video on him, you will see a thing where they make jokes about mouthwash. And did he bring his own mouthwash to this party? Allegedly, there was a bodyguard that forced him to swallow a mouthful of that stuff. No, Lynn, there's no chance of that. Diddy will not end up in the Colunger State Hospital prison, walking psychopath. No, he will not. And the reason is the place he would end up, if that were to happen, would be in Rochester. No, I'm sorry. Louisville. Sorry, it was a baseball bat reference. He would end up in Louisville, Kentucky, because there is a place in the feds where they send people like that in the federal system. But he will not end up there either. Here's what it comes down to. When you get into the feds, everybody has got some kind of a everybody's got some medication they're on. Everybody has a diagnosis of some kind, I promise you. Hart is only 1.5 De Niro's tall. That is awesome. Did everybody see that? Hart is only 1.5 De Niro's tall. Did you catch that, Johnny Scoville? Kevin Hart is only 1.5 De Niro's tall. See, I knew he was going to love that. Corner three. I'm not a fan of Kevin Hart. I've never been a fan of his comedy. I've never been a fan of his movies. I'm not a fan of him. And watching him act like a eighth grader in that Diddy party that they live streamed. Now, you got to know that they churched the hell out of that. It was live streamed, for the love of God, right? So we weren't seeing what normally happens at a Diddy party. We did, however, see a woman's hair catch fire. And I'll tell you something, man. I don't know. Maybe it's that I'm an old man now. I'm not sure if you've heard, but I'm in my 50s. Anywho, I don't think I would be amused by a woman's hair catching fire, right? Especially running around going, hey, did you catch that on film? Tell me you got that on film. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. And everything that happened on that film is a great indicator of who Diddy is, who Kevin Hart is, and how all of those freaks act, right? As much as they were trying to church it up, there was a sex toy about that long on the bed next to the diddler himself, right? No homo. No Diddy. Diddy said, don't want you doing anything on the bed because of whatever was just going on there. I don't care, man. Sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. But that hella hard gangster persona, I don't know, miss me with all that stuff. Be who you're going to be, man. Be who you're going to be. 50s is young, says Brenda. I like where you're going with this. I'm a fan of young. I'm not young myself, but I'm a fan. We're only as young as your girlfriend. And let's see, 84, 94. Yeah, plenty. If I go any younger than that, people are going to look at me weird. Michael Jackson's hair caught fire and burned. Yeah, I remember that. That was during a commercial for Pepsi, if you remember that. Who's too young for you, Quibs? Why nonsense? Why did the dude that arrested Diddy step down? Well, Gail, technically, he didn't arrest Diddy. So the head of the office in the Southern District of New York, that head prosecutor from that office just makes the statements. Like he's the voice that comes out and says, all right, we have just indicted P. Diddy and, here are the charges. There will be more charges, blah, blah. He's the guy that does the press conference. He's going to be replaced by a Republican. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It has nothing to do with the case. It has to do with the fact that whenever there's a new administration that comes in, traditionally they get rid of all of the They clean house and they put in a lot of people that are going to be that are going to lean more in their direction. That's the idea anyway. Why, thank you. I am doing better, unqualified therapist. And if you're going to be an unqualified therapist, this is probably the place to do it. Huh? What do you think? You're getting old? Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. There was where is Miss Dragon when you need her? There was a great comedy routine done back in the day with Steve Martin. And Steve Martin said that the best part of getting old is that you get to get prejudice. Now, before anybody starts with the hate emails, he's not referring to prejudice against people, right? Or religions, or he's talking about being prejudiced against things that we've already done. Like, hey, let's go try this rave stuff. And you're like, boom, the door just slams. Nope, been there, done that, not trying it. Now, you don't actually have to try whatever the new version of the rave is, right? Because we did the old version and they're not really going to jazz it up enough to make it cool. But that kind of thing. So the older I get, the more I think that, I don't know, I kind of dig it. Yeah, it's time to clean house. And I'm on that heating pad right now. In fact, not only am I on the heating pad, but I've got it maxed out as we speak. It's wrapped around me. Happy Feet. Yes. Steve Martin. I'm a huge fan of Steve Martin's early comedy. Thought it was genius stuff. Genius stuff. Cinderella's glass slipper. Good to see you. How are you? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Steve Martin's a tall dude. He, I'll tell you what, I'm not sure if you knew this, plays a damn good banjo. Were you aware of this? He has won all kinds of Grammys for the banjoing. Banjo. So, where is Oprah Winfrey, people? Anybody got a good rumor for me? Because I'll tell you what, it is rumored that she is not, no longer in the U.S. I do love a heating pad, clips. She usually keeps several around too. I am of the belief that there are a lot of people that may not be running because they think that they're not running because they're going to escape anything other than the press. Leonardo DiCaprio is a perfect example, right? Leo is in Italy with a girl who is just 26 years old. He has not left, and she's 26. I think he's getting desperate, man. The guy's getting desperate. Normally at 25 and about 300 days, they start getting the boot. He starts looking for the next supermodel that's underage. Well, under the age of 26, whatever. But he's with a supermodel in Italy. And there's a lot of people who think that, he's there just because he doesn't feel like catching all of the press he's going to catch if he hangs out in the U.S. And you know what? They got to be right. You don't think TMZ would be beating the hell out of old Leo if he was in the U.S.? They would be parked in front of his place. Hey, Leo, you got any comment on Diddy? I'm telling you. They're going to be yelling that to him at the in Italy as well. The Italian staircase. He's going to be at the bottom of it. They're going to be yelling, were you at Diddy parties? So who's a beard? Which beard are we talking about? Because there's a lot of beards in this gig. Are there not? Please tell me you're talking about Will Smith. Murdered. Killing him. Murdering him. Another blouse. It's awful. Absolutely awful. Order 3. It is sickening. To be sure, it is absolutely sickening. As long as Keanu Reeves and Ryan Reynolds are not on the list, I hate to do this to you. Really, you have not heard? I can't back that up. I'm just kidding. I can't back that up. If you guys if you happen to be listening, I'm sure that both Keanu and Ryan probably catch the lifeboat on the regular. So if you are watching it tonight, guys, no hard feelings. It's just bad humor. Chalk it up to most Italians are aware of who he is. Damn straight, right? He's been dating Italian supermodels forever. He's, I would say that everybody in Italy knows, but he's not going to deal with the press the same way. You understand what I mean? In the U.S., the press is so completely different. They're vicious. I think that overseas, I believe that overseas there's a level of class maybe that let's word that differently. In the U.S., there is no class whatsoever to how the press deals with people. I think a lot of folks are more comfortable in other countries because of that. We also know that there are a couple of comedians that are spending their time in the Bahamas right now. What's the name of that cat that has the Family Feud? What's that guy's name? Somebody help me. Johnny Depp? No, not him. Good guess, though. I'm kidding. I know that was way before you know what I'm saying. You say DiCaprio was lingering around River Phoenix that night. Is that true? I did not know that. I did not know that. Steve Harvey, thank you. Who said that? Who said that? SoCal? Well done, SoCal. Yeah, Steve Harvey is out of the country. I think Oprah Winfrey currently is out of the country too. She certainly isn't getting seen much. Wow, is that the truth? Did that really happen? Please, somebody tell me this is a lie. Please, even if it's the truth, somebody tell me this is a lie. Meryl Streep said Weinstein was a god. Did that really happen? She said that? Did anybody else just skeeve? That's so awful, man. That is so awful, man. Johnny Scoville says Meryl Streep rides a broom. He's referring to one of those there, the Nimbus 2000. It's actually the millennial version of it there, though. That's the Nimbus 2000 with the short shifter kit. Meryl was so gaga over Weinstein. You know what? I don't doubt Shelley, man. Now I know it's true. Damn it! I find that disturbing as hell, right? I find that disturbing as hell because everybody there knew what he was doing. Now, I've said this in the past, though. Susan Wright says she said it. I wouldn't doubt it. Damn, that sucks. Streep said he was God, not a god. That's even worse. God help us, consequences. That's even worse. Hollywood rewards narcissistic dog-eat-dog behavior. It's no wonder this goes on, and people suddenly never knew a guy they were calling Cuddly Muffin something a week ago. Well played. All of a sudden now they don't even know a guy that a week ago was Cuddly Muffin Wumpin Slumpin thing with this stuff. Jennifer Lawrence. What about Jennifer Lawrence? Here's the thing about Jennifer Lawrence. I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud. I look at Jennifer Lawrence, and you know what I think? I bet her feet smell. Sorry, I said it. Judge me. Send me mean emails. I bet her feet stink. That's just how I feel, man. Jennifer Lawrence just has that look like, you know what? My feet stink. I'm sorry. What does Leo and TV have in common? Both can be turned on by Oh, that's just horrible. That is just absolutely horrible. Probably true, but it is horrible. You never liked Meryl? Thought she was way overrated? You know, I think she's an excellent actress, but I'm a little disgusted. Quibs, you're good. Your feet do not stink. But tell me that when you see Jennifer Lawrence, does anyone else understand what I'm saying? Honestly, can't you look at her and just go, you know what? Her feet stink. Now, look, I'm not saying you have to dislike her. She may be an excellent actress. I just think her feet stink. That's all I'm saying. You know, I don't want anybody to get angry at me. I'm just saying she looks like she might have stinky feet. She disappeared after the Weinstein stuff came out. You know what? I have not followed her career very much. She's pretentious and full of herself. You're talking about Streep, yeah? But I bet her feet don't stink. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. But I'm pretty sure on Jennifer Lawrence. I just have a feeling. To be fed steak? No. There was no mention of steak. You don't care. You're not hitting her feet. I kind of like feet. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of feet, especially if the foot has a really high arch and the gaps on the toes are the same. Like they come down perfectly like a little staircase. There's no like odd gap or anyway, there's no reason for me to any hoot. Gators just scored again, 65-yard touchdown. Your 86-year-old mother also watching. This could get epic here. My 86-year-old mother also watching several hundred miles away with my brother just texted me, oh my God, she's 86. I love that, man. I love that. I really do. That's awesome. I remember, yes, I'm sorry about the too much information there. I remember watching the Giants, who I understand are having a real bad season. I didn't know until yesterday, but I was watching the Giants play in a Super Bowl. Scott Norwood missed a field goal. If you're a fan, you probably remember the game. But my father put beer on the ceiling in the house that we were in. Like he stood up when he did. The beer sloshed out of the container he was holding it in, and it actually hit the ceiling, which was incredible because it was like an 18-foot ceiling. But sometimes you just get so excited. That was one of those games. We were praying for that kick to go wide, and it did. It was a beautiful thing. That's right, Buffalo Bills. Scotty Norwood. He kicked it and went. Oh, yeah, I hate to see that. Do you know that Johnny Scoville actually gave me looked like a credit card? And it was just a picture taken from behind where you could read Norwood's name on the back of his jersey, and his foot's in the air, and you could tell it was at that exact moment that you knew that kick wasn't going through. So whenever I was feeling a little under the weather, if I was feeling, a little depressed or whatever, I could take out my wallet and I could pull out that card and I could look at it and go, oh, I remember that. Now I don't watch football or sports, but there was a time. There was a time. Beer on the ceiling. Yeah, and the funny thing is, it's not like my dad was a drinker, so it made that story even better because he wasn't a guy that spent a lot of time, with a brew in his hand in the first place. So the fact that that we painted the ceiling with it was pretty good stuff. Sorry. Oh. Wait 1 second. Meryl Streep also had a lot of harsh words to say about him, about her own sexual harassment experience in Hollywood. Well, you know what? I'm going to have to do a little deep diving into Meryl. I feel like she gets a lot of. I think everybody kind of assumes that she's, this unbelievable talent, and we give her a lot of leeway. And I'll be giving no one any leeway. Love the Giants, Eli Manning Super Bowls. You know what? Those were the last Super Bowls I ever watched. Shortly thereafter, that was the end. In fact, the last football game I ever watched was the Super Bowl where Peyton Manning was playing for, Denver. Since then, I have not watched one game. Grandma rolled off the couch when the Steelers won the New Year's game. She was built like a bowling ball. Horrible story, but when we were kids, my brother had moved to the city that he went to college in, and a woman had gotten hit with a bowling ball that fell out of allegedly, it had been knocked by accident out of a window, but it hit a girl in the head and really did a lot of damage to her. It was a terrible story. Terrible story. Oh, Well, that's just disturbing, isn't it? The unqualified therapist says, Tommy, they call their orgies cuddle puddles at sex parties. Now reread her birthday post to Diddy. Ah, you know what? How disturbing, man. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just because we know how disgusting this is. But I look now at all of these, you look at these people. Naomi Campbell is a great example, right? It's not like Naomi Campbell is ugly, right? I think by most people's standards, she would be considered fairly attractive. But it's to the point now where I look at these people and they look ugly to me. They just look ugly. Ellen is chunder. You know something? If that is not on a t-shirt already, it really ought to be. Huh? Ellen is chunder. You love that? Corner 3. Ugly souls, right? I honestly think that, maybe it's that I'm getting old. Maybe it's I'm getting older. Maybe these stories have just gotten to the point where they're so friggin' depraved. But even like Demi Moore, I look at Demi Moore now and she just looks disgusting to me. I'm sorry. I look at Mila Kunis. She just looks disgusting to me now. Beyonce. Gross. Is it me? Maybe it's me. I don't know. ABV says Diana's death taught the press a little caution this side of the pond. It would be nice if we had a little bit more class on this side, to be honest with you. It would be a wonderful thing. Yeah. Watched a video of Luther Vandross. Watched a video of Luther Vandross singing House is Not a Home, thinking, please don't let him be on the DL. The down low. And behold, the first comment on the video, wish he was open about his sexuality. Really? Yet again? James says, Demi Moore was just on Hot Ones. I couldn't watch. She's evil. Yeah, that's where I'm at, man. This is where I'm at. I'm to the point now, and I was talking about this the other day, and I catch crap every time I say it, but I'm boycotting all of it. I'm boycotting all of it. I am. I'm not watching anything anymore. I'm not putting $1 into the economy that is Hollyweird or the music or entertainment in general. If there's a casting couch, I've tapped out. I can watch old films that were made 1 million years ago. I don't need to watch anything new. I really couldn't much anyway, but there are things I could have listened to and probably would have liked to. But Ellen's house in the UK is underwater. I've heard that. I'm not going to lie. Because I'm not a good person. Because that's just who I am. It made me happy. It really did. I thought to myself, this shrew just bought this place. Now it's already underwater. That's justice. Because you're a big fat liar head. You didn't buy this property to get out because of the new president. You bought it before the new president was elected. You just had that, took up the magic 8 ball and it said, yeah, go ahead and buy that house and do it quick. No. When she bought that house, everybody in the press was saying that Kamala was going to win this thing. So I don't buy the Ellen DeGeneres story. I don't buy any of the other people either. I don't buy, the woman that just is moving now to Mexico. I think that a lot of these people don't want to deal with the ugly press in the United States of America. Pam Anderson, I think, looks amazing these days. I think that she looks a lot better since she started to just allow herself to look like normal aging. I think is a much healthier thing. I believe that old movie eras had worse casting couches. I don't doubt that for a second. However, right, I view it a lot like Quibble views fur coats, right? she would never get a fur coat. However, if it's a vintage fur coat, right, it's kind of like it's already been done. It's already out there. It's kind of happened. I am not putting any money into any economy by watching a film that was made in 1950. Whereas if I watch a film that was made today, I am actually putting money into that. I am putting some form of a thumb up. I am voting with my finances. I'm not giving a break to the early casting couches. I assure you. I want very much to not put a dollar into the economy that is entertainment anymore. I hope I listened okay. I really hope I did. Yeah, see, I do pay attention most of the time, but yeah, and I understand your argument on that too. I mean, I completely understand the argument for vintage fur versus new fur. Right? There's no reason to be creating any new fur, but if the other stuff's out there, I see no point in tossing it in a dumpster. But that's me. What do I know, man? I also prefer vintage anything. I'm wearing a vintage watch as we speak. I love vintage everything. Why hasn't Jay-Z got indicted yet? Damn it. Okay, well, here's the thing on that. Honestly, we've got some issues. Eva supposedly moved a lot of products from Mexico. Wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Why hasn't Jay-Z got indicted yet? Darn it. Well, here's the deal, Laura Lee Smith. We're going to need something to blow the doors off if this guy's going to get indicted. And that's going to require Diddler, right? Turning state's evidence. That's the only hope I think we have of seeing Sean Carter get indicted on anything. Now, of course, he's innocent of anything until proven otherwise in a court of law, even if he's not. I think that most people believe that he was doing exactly what Diddy was doing. But as Jaguar Wright has said, he's a lot smarter than Diddy. And I think that there's probably something to that. You know what I mean? I think there's probably something to that. Well, thanks, Quibsy. It goes in both directions. Did LeBron this is a good point, the Diddy docket. This is what I was saying earlier. Why is it so damn quiet? How come no one is saying anything, right? How come no one is coming out and saying, like Ellen DeGeneres, hey, I have the guy on my show a lot, but what he's done is reprehensible, and my heart goes out to the victims, right? That my heart goes out 100% to the victims of this. This is absolutely deplorable. Why aren't they saying it? They're not saying it because they're afraid of Diddy. They have heard, right, from everybody involved that every room in this cat's house has been recorded for decades, right? So all these people like Eva Longoria, allegedly, who went to a bunch of these parties. What if you ended up in a room, right? Maybe you weren't doing anything with a kid, or you weren't doing anything that maybe you just went in there with two dudes, right? Or three dudes, or two dudes and a couple of chicks, whatever. Right? Nothing illegal about that. You might not want to find out that it's been recorded, though. And I think a lot of people in Hollywood, I think everybody in Hollywood is going, don't you want to say, LeBron, don't you want to say how bad what Diddy did? I'd like to. I'd really like to say what he did was crappy, but he might have a video of me, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. In fact, I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to go to the movies. I'm not going to leave my house. What does TMZ do for a living these days? There's nobody to look at, right? People don't go outside anymore. Nobody wants to get paparazzi'd, right? I guess unless you're brand new, unless you came up after this stuff happened, man. Yee. You know what I'm saying. You follow? Huh? Are you with me? LA Confidential and The Jerk, the combo of the two, a great combo. Yeah. We're going to watch an epic crap show, right? We're going to watch an absolutely epic crap show. We're going to watch people start to jump ship. There are a lot of folks in this that once, I don't know how to say, here's what we do. We're going to watch this happen in waves, right? Everybody was too afraid to say a thing about Diddy. This guy was a killer, allegedly. He's made a lot of people disappear, allegedly. There were a lot of people really afraid of him, so much so that nobody would come forward no matter what he had done. And we know of 120 people that say they have been SA'd or R'd by him. 120. But everybody was afraid until Cassie gave everybody permission to not be afraid, right? That's what happened. The next round, and you're going to go, damn, that Tommy was right again. The next round is going to be the first people that have the balls, to say, you know what? This guy is a scumbag. We were friends, but what he did is disgusting. When those people start to come out and make statements like that, then we're going to see the split. And we're going to see Diddy have to start firing back. He's not a guy that can sit on the sideline. He's got stuff that he can drop on people. Those NDAs are literally worthless. They're worthless. Non-disclosure agreements don't cover crimes. So allegedly, everybody at these parties was sniffing drugs. All bets are off, right? There's a crime. Once that crime is committed, then everything that happens from that point on, you cannot enforce anything, right? Can't enforce something illegal. And we know that there were drugs, allegedly, right? There's coerced sex acts with people who are under the age of consent. Yeah, see, Diz gets it. If I go, we all gonna go down. And that's, I believe, what we're gonna see happen, right? I believe wholeheartedly that is what we are going to see happen. You follow? Because at some point, it's gonna get to that area of the shit show where there's nothing left but to throw Molotov cocktails and watch everything burn. Diddy has aces in the hole, people. Make no mistake. This guy's got aces in the hole. They might not be a live switch, dead man switch. It may not be set up, just in case kind of a situation, but he's definitely got names of people that are doing things they don't want to be outed on. I would imagine that without really becoming the, Inspector Clouseau kind of thing, without having to put on the old inspector's cap. How about TD Jakes? That name should jump off the page as somebody that really would be a lot happier if he just shuts up, right? Show me the money. That cat. Another dude that wishes all of this would just kind of go away, man. Haggis. Hey, Kenneth, have a fantastic evening. Thanks for spending some time with us. Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is a very interesting story. According to Gene Deal and according to a lot of other people, there was a courtesy shot of sorts. He sat down. Johnny Scoville, you got peppers on something because I'm burning from touching it, you jackwagon. Something in here touched peppers because now I'm on fire. Yeah, bro. See that, people? I'm burning. You see that? I'm burning. Cuba Gooding Jr. is probably the next one that I think is going to be in some trouble. And I say that because he's on film allegedly doing the things that he's accused of doing, right? We're going to see a lot of crap happen. And we're going to see a lot of crap start to happen soon. Diddy is going to, I don't think this is the kind of guy who says, well, if I got to do it, I'm going to be a soldier and I'm going to go down alone. I'm going to take this. I'm going to be a stand-up cat. Does he strike you as that kind of dude? Because he doesn't strike me as that kind of dude. I'll be honest with you. He strikes me as the kind of guy that it's powder. I don't care what it is. It's burning. Burning. You know what it is? It's your stupid knife. Yeah, Cuba is a sleazeball, right? I think a lot of people are starting to see this. Ty's Kitchen says he's a sleazeball. Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot of other people are starting to agree. Love. Love will keep us together. Think of me, babe, whenever. Come on, everybody. It's the Captain and Tennille. Join in when you know it. Some sweet talking girl comes along. I'm sorry. You gotta love them. Love them, love them, love them. Stassi Savage says, I feel like we all went through a space of time and learning. I think if the world viewed us on worst times, most would be canceled. But with age, if we don't learn wisdom and empathy, check you. A lot of the stuff that, like I was saying earlier, a lot of the stuff that we're watching with a lot of these stars and with Diddy and ages like a fine milk, right? You look back at some of the things that that Diddy said in interviews that we laughed at, right? Got to put locks on the doors, right, to keep the women in. It's not that funny anymore, is it? Because it aged like a fine milk. You had muskrat love stuck in your head a few days ago? Sounds like a personal problem. You're funny, Sharon Clark. You know, I am a excellent in the shower singer. I mean, for real, I got game in the shower, but it's the only place that I can sing. So very few people get to hear it. I do, however. I have a mean shower game when it comes to singing. You'd be really surprised. What does the industry look like after this? Not much happened after Weinstein. And you know what? That, in my humble opinion, is the biggest difference between this and the start of the Me Too movement, right? I think the very big difference is that we learned as a society when Weinstein happened, we as a society did nothing. Like we watched and then we just went, and it kind of went back to the status quo. If the Weinstein case had been running parallel to another Weinstein case, do you understand what I'm saying? Currently, right now, we have the Diddy trial and the Diddy prosecution that is running alongside 120, give or take, lawsuits that are going to be holding Mr. Combs' feet to the fire from a civil standpoint. The combination of both of those taking place at the same time is going to show us stuff that we've never seen before, right? Goodness, with your damn peppers. I'm telling you. Now my face is on fire. Boy, I'm unhappy. Yeah, I'm going to have to go and wash my face and punch my brother Johnny Scoville right in the suckle. All right, people. Stop with the peppers. It's been burning me since I was about 4 years old. Demi is on the hot ones, giving your brother a run for his being able to burn and talk. Well, that would not surprise me. She is the spawn of Satan. She ought to be able to eat hot stuff without making a face. After all, she's from hell. That's right, I said it. I saw her sticking her tongue down a 14-year-old's throat. Did you guys happen to catch that? Sure you did. Yeesh. I got news for you. That's not a hookup for that 14-year-old. Wherever he's at, he isn't happy that happened. Take my word for this. All righty, folks. That's the news. And, well, you know how it goes from there. Ricky Gervais is both with looks and comedy. He's hot with both looks and comedy. Well, there you go. See that? Ricky Gervais, if you're listening. That's a hookup right there. That is a hookup. Yeah. Johnny Pepper's crazy talk, right? He would never do something like that to me. He's already done it. He does it all of the time. Yeah, the Diddy and the Russell Brand footage. I want to love Russell Brand because of sobriety and because of I just want to really like the guy. I'm pulling for that. There's smoke there too, and you can't be blinded by the smoke, right? Wrapped up like a deuce, another roller in the night. Sorry. Yeah, Ricky Gervais's take on all of this should be fun. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Didymus, the thief on the cross, that Didymus. Alrighty, folks, that is the news, and I really am out of here. I'm on fire on account of Johnny Scoville. So I'm going to go pour some milk on my face and try to figure out exactly what just happened to me. Yeah, that's right. And then I'll call the Quibster. All right, folks, that's the news, and I am out of here. Between now and the next time I see you, which will probably be sometime tomorrow, Tony Suter, good to see you. Reach out and try to save somebody, right? This is the holiday season, folks. Going to be a lot of content getting put up. I hope you catch all of it. And if you miss some, shame on you. I'm kidding. Seriously, don't miss it.